This is Frontier Opening Bell, getting the new week started. Hello, everyone. This is your show. Let's get the new week started. The second full trading week in the month of April. The Nigerian bourse, the BRVM, the Egyptian markets on Sunday, and the NSE, that's the Nairobi bourse, fell on Friday on a weekly basis for the Nigerian market. The JSE, which is the South African market, finished Friday a very strong 1.04%. Quite a bit of a nail-biting market week last week. No thanks to a basket of risks that investors were weighing: the geopolitics, the Russian war in the Ukraine, the French election, the U.S. Central Bank, or the Fed looking to deleverage its balance sheet, about $90 billion every month. All of that and more came together to put a bit of a pressure on equities markets around the world, and Frontier Africa, not an exception. So let's look at some headlines as we start a very brand new week, which of course is going to have a whole lot on the agenda. The ECB decision, the European Central Bank, will decide later this week on interest rate decision. That will play into the runoff elections going on currently in France. But let's look at East Africa, by the way, because the East African Tea Trade Association has unveiled a $2.12 million e-platform at the Mombasa Tea Auction. The whole purpose of the e-platform is to provide efficiency and transparency and what you call price discovery when Kenya's tea auctions are held. That is one good news. In the meantime, Visa, one of the world's largest card issuers, has opened its first African Innovation Studios in Nairobi, Kenya. Congratulations to you folks over there. Mauritius MCB Banking Group says it's got 2022 growth outlook to about 6.2% on the Ukraine war. Ethiopia and South Sudan in the Sahel have agreed to strengthen their financial cooperation under COMESA, which is the common market for East and Southern Africa. And Russia remains the top tourism market for Seychelles Islands in the first quarter of 2022. Let's check in with West Africa, by the way, where we have a new CEO and the founding CEO for Infraco, which is infrastructure company, being pursued aggressively by the central bank. The governor of the central bank in Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, is the chairman of Infraco. So they brought in Lazarus Ambazo as the first and the founding CEO. They had the first board meeting, and they're now raring to go. The initial plan is to raise about 14 trillion in a hybrid, both equity and debt, locally and globally, including the Eurobond, which is the global debt market. More about that you'll hear in the days and weeks ahead. And the AEC, which is the Africa Energy Chamber, is hosting the State of Africa's Energy virtual webinar on Wednesday. That's April the 13th. And the Bank of Ghana, which is the central bank, is looking to sell $350 million in foreign exchange auction. The whole idea is to sharp the value of the CD. And Senegal's Treasury Department says it's raised 57 billion CFA franc via a 10-year bond, which was last week. In the meantime, the Colonel Doumbouya in Guinea has given May deadline to foreign firms who are operating in the country's mining industry. The military junta in Guinea is the one in control, and they're asking foreign miners to shape up or shape out. Finally, within the Central African market, which is the CEMAC, appointment of a new president for the Common Central Bank, which is the BDAC, is expected later this month of April. Let's go to Southern Africa and check in with your news this Monday. President Cyril Ramaphosa and U.S. President Joe Biden are discussing trade, infrastructure, investment, as well as climate change. South Africa is looking for all help it can get, even with Washington, to get the economy reformed and back on track, looking at the full impact of COVID-19 pandemic and energy crisis in Africa's most advanced economy. Jobless rate in South Africa slightly above 35%, according to the last data. In the meantime, the agency responsible for spectrum and telecommunications supervision and regulation in South Africa, ICASA and Telkom, South Africa has reached an agreement over the payment of the spectrum license that Telkom South Africa won just about a month ago. In SASRIA, the South Africa's agency responsible for revenue generation has appointed Mpumi Chikwe as a new chief executive officer. The British American Tobacco, or the unit in Zimbabwe, reporting 1.4 billion Zimbabwean dollars for its full year 2021. There'll be no dividend to shareholders. And FBC Holdings has declared a final dividend of 148.2 Zimbabwean cent as a dividend per share to shareholders for 2022. Part of the late reporting from the 2022 season, which now spilled from the first quarter into the new month of April. I'll sum it up for you as always in North Africa, where Egypt's annual inflation was seen at 12.1% in the month of March. February was slightly lower at 10%. Algeria is looking to boost gas exports to Italy by 50% annually, part of Europe looking for alternative energy sources and supply because of the Russia's aggression and the ongoing military assault on its neighbor, Ukraine. And the National Oil Corporation of Libya says the sector loan rises to about $6.5 billion $6.5 billion dinars in the 2021 period. That's the story from the North Africa's oil producing country. And Tunisia's debt servicing went up about 32% to about 14.8 billion dinars in 2021. That's according to the country's Ministry of Finance. And finally, Morocco's Capital Market Authority, which is an equivalent, of course, of your SEC, as OK's Mahawk Telecom's share buyback program. Details of that also still ahead, as this big telecom company enlisted on the Casablanca Stock Exchange looks to conclude this program. How will that impact is a share price on the Casablanca Stock Exchange, dividend, and turn everything else on his books? We'll see how that all that go in the days, weeks, and months ahead. And that's about it this morning. That's your Frontier Opening Bell. You've been briefed. I am Boosting Namofa. You go online and you watch this show again on our YouTube. Our Frontier Africa Reports, our website contains our stories and podcasts and other information across Africa. That's frontierafricareports.com. And of course, we're on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, as well as LinkedIn. Subscribe to our YouTube. It's free. I'll see you next time.